Hello my friends, today we'll be taking this image over here. Let's get right into it. Now if you're new to this channel, please note that I sort my videos into playlists. So if you want to learn product photography, my product photography playlist is absolutely free for you and it has around 40 tutorials so far. For my prop, I will be using this arch. This is a very solid arch. It's from Mad Props UK. It's made from MDF. So I'll place it right here on my table. If you do not have a table, you can use a side table, a nightstand, or whatever surface you have around your house. For the background, I have the Savage paper roll. This is a 53 inches, color red. I'll put all the items in the description below if you want to purchase the same things. If you do not have a Savage paper roll, you can find these poster boards at the dollar store. I bought these ones from my local dollar store. And they are 50 cents for the white ones and $1 for the colored ones. They have them in all the color of the rainbow. I purchased some blue ones and some red ones. As you can see, they are pretty big size. So this should work great if you do not have a big paper roll. For the background light, I will be using a speed light. My speed light, it's an AD100. And I have it into a light stand, just like this, into this Godax bracket. And I will be turning on my light. Power is 132. And I'm just going to place this pointing at the background over there. And let's see. I am tethered into capture one. Maybe I should start a screen recording so you guys can see exactly what I'm seeing. Great. So far, the only light we have on is the background light. My camera settings are 1/250, f8, ISO 100. So let's take a shot, see what we have. As you can see, the background is red, but we don't have a composition. We don't have anything set up, so let's do that. The only thing I would be doing for this composition is just place the product right on top of the arch. Let's see. I want this nozzle pointing to the left. All right. I will be shooting this on portrait orientation, so I'll be doing that. Let's see something. I know I'll be cropping this in post. It's probably going to be like 5x8 or 8x10. Something like that. I need to turn the product just a little bit more. I am using autofocus. Let's see what we get now. Great, so we have some light on the background and our product is black because we do not have any light on it. And that is okay. I think I want to increase the power of my background light. Like I said, right now, 1/32, I'll go to 1/16 and maybe get it a little bit closer to the background. So let's see what we have now. Better. I think I like that. Now for the lighting the subject, I'll be using another speed light with a softbox. If you want to buy the same softbox, I would leave it in the description below. And I'll bring this pretty close to my subject. I want nice, soft light. Maybe something like that. And for the power of this light, 1/8. So let's see now. That is looking fantastic. I like it. But the left side is too dark. So I'll be adding one of these bounce boards. This is from V-Flat. I love it because it's like a book like this. You can open it. So I don't need any clamps or anything. I can just set it on the table. Just like that. And now make sure I'm still focused. I put this other tripod here so you guys can see what's happening. I hope I don't trip on it. That's another camera recording. And let's see. I want to center my subject a little bit better. All right, let's take another shot. Much better. Let's see if we're clipping. We have the exposure warning. We are not clipping anything, even though it looks a little bit bright on the right side. So that is great. Now it's time to add those white balls. What are those white balls? Well, in this bin, I have a whole bunch of white balls. See, just ping pong balls. Make sure you get the ones that have no writing on them. And these are very useful for photography. I have them in white, I have them in black. I also have them in orange. They come in all sorts of colors, but I find that the white and the blacks I use the most. So we'll be using one of these balls. Now you can take this whole bin and just throw it in the air and hope to catch a good photo and not black your subject. And then, you know, spend an hour and a half looking for all the balls under your furniture. But we'll be using just one ball this time. Now when it comes down to photographing your ball, you have a few choices. You can bounce the ball on the table and try to take an image, something like this. And you'll have to repeat that about 200 times until you get it. I didn't get it in the frame this time, but that's the way you would do it. Or you can do it the easy way. The way I like to do it is I use some double-sided tape and I taped it to this clear rod. This clear rods I bought on Amazon. I will leave it all in the description below. I like it because it's clear, light can still pass through it, and it just makes it really easy on post-production. So as you can see, double-sided tape, I just taped the ping pong to the rod. Now for those of you who are afraid that you know, you're not good at making selections in Photoshop and so on, please do not be afraid. I will show you a really easy technique, all automatic, on how to cut out these balls perfectly and resize them and position them wherever you want in the image. So what I will do now, I will go into my live view. And now in my live view, I can see where I put my ball. So let's see. I'm not in the image. There you go. So I'll try to position this somewhere where it looks good. You know what? I think my composition is a little bit too close. I want to give myself a little bit more room for all these balls. So I'm going to back up a little bit. Maybe something like that. Make sure you don't trip on your cords. The image looks good. Now let's add some of these balls. So make sure you place it, let me see, I'll see in the live view. You see when I hold the rod, make sure the rod is on the back. You don't want to point it like this and then you have to Photoshop more than you need to. So just like that, let's see. I will point this one somewhere, maybe something like that, hold on. I want to keep it kind of in line with my product. That way it will be in focus. And let's take this image over here. That is great. My arm is on the way though, so I have to make sure my elbow is higher. So let's see now. Go back into live view. All right, something like that. And that is not bad. I'll take another one closer to the subject, just in case we need another one. And there is our ball. That is looking great. Now here we are into Lightroom. I apologize for the background noise, but we're having a deck build outside and they're not going to stop anytime soon, so we have to deal with the noise. For the editing part on Lightroom, it's just very basic. I will add a little bit of contrast. I'll maybe pull down the highlights just a tiny little bit down, add some texture, add some clarity, add a little bit of vibrance. Nothing too crazy, and maybe a little bit of sharpening, and that's all I will be doing in Lightroom. Now with this image selected, I will hold down Command and click on the very last image, the one where we photographed the white ball. And then I will go to Sync and Synchronize setting. That way they will both be edited exactly the same. Now with both images already selected, I will go to Photo, Edit in, and I will open as layers in Photoshop. Now here we have at the bottom just our main subject, and then on the layer on top we have the one with the ball. First thing I want to do before I start selecting the ball is to crop my image to the 8x10 that I wanted to do, or make sure it's straight, make sure my edges of the subject are straight with these lines, and then maybe lift it up to something like that. And I think I will go with that for my composition. Click Enter to accept the crop, and now let's go on selecting that ball. I will show you how to do this very easily. The easiest way to do it is to go over here into the Object Selection tool and then just draw a square around it. And Photoshop will do a really great job of selecting this ball. Now one thing I like to do is to go into Select, Modify, and do Contract. That means I'll make it smaller, this selection, by 10 pixels. 5 pixels would work great as well. Click OK. So you see the marching ants, they moved inwards by 10 pixels. And now I will click on the mask and I will just mask the ball into our initial image. This is good. But if we zoom in, let's go into 100%, you'll see my selection is very sharp and it just doesn't look that great like that. So what I will do with my mask selected, make sure you select the mask, not the layer. Go over here into Properties of this mask. If you do not see it, go into Windows and make sure that Properties is turned on. Over here it's checked. So then you'll have these properties, and here I'll work with the feather. So the feather, I will add about 10 pixels of feather. 9-10 pixels will look great. And you can see that just looks a lot more natural than before. So this is good. Command 0 fit to screen. Now I want to add a few more of these balls. So I'm going to go over here and select my move tool and hold down Option and just drag this ball. And that will make a duplicate and we'll put it right over there. I'll hold down Option, make another duplicate. Maybe I'll put some in the corner here that are just about to fall down. Then maybe I will take another one. So Option, move this one over here, but this one I want to make it smaller. So Command T to make it smaller, hold down Shift and Option while I shrink it. So we'll go with that for that one. Then I will click this check mark to accept the changes. And then I'll drag the small one, maybe add another small one over here. Maybe we'll add another small one that is just kind of peeking over here. And that's probably enough balls, really. Maybe we'll add one tiny one over here. So I'll move that one, Command T and Shift and Option. I'll make that one smaller, something like that. And that looks good. Maybe one more small, hold on. I'll accept this change first and then hold down Option or bring another small one over here. Just for fun. Great. Now our balls are looking good. I need to work onto this writing over here. I want to brighten that, and also I want to brighten my prop a little bit because you see it's looking a little bit gray. So what I will do is first I will flatten my image. So flatten image, right click on any layer and flatten image, and this will just gonna bring everything down to one layer only, so I don't have all these layers. Now, if you wanted to make your balls look more realistic, the ones that are smaller and more in the back, you would apply some Gaussian blur to blur them because they wouldn't really be as sharp as these ones in the front. But I don't mind it. I don't mind this look, so I will leave it just like that. Great, let's work on this writing to bring out that white. For that, I will apply a selective color. And then I will choose from this drop down, I'll choose my whites because we're working with white text. And I will move all this cyan, magenta, and yellow to -100. That means I'm removing all the color from them. So there's no color cast. It makes it really white. So this is the before, this is the after, before and after. Now I only want to apply this to my writing here. So I will inverse this mask, Command I, now we have a black mask, nothing is showing that is really white. And then B for the brush. With a white brush, make sure you have white here if you have different colors. Like let's say we have red and black, or gray and black in this case, because I selected the mask, I couldn't select the color. Any color you have here, click D and it will reset. And now with the white brush, I will just paint on this writing here, and that should brighten this quite a bit. Something like that. So let's see. This is the before, this is the after. Before and after. Great. Now I also want to brighten this arch. So for that, let's make a selection. This will be a really easy selection for the curvature pen tool. If you guys know, I use this one a lot. It's really easy for beginners. So the way to use it is I zoomed in all the way to 100%. And I'll click right here, and then the next click, it wants to make curves. So you see, it makes it really, really easy. Click back on my first point and keep dragging around your arch. You see how easy it makes it for this kind of selections. Anybody can do it. Just click, 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 click over here. I'll go outside. Then we'll start in here. And let's keep going. You can grab anywhere and add points and then continue. Move the points, rearrange them. We'll go with something like that. And then connect it to your first point. And if this happens to you, hold down Option and click on this point, and that will make it a straight point. So it makes it like a straight line, like a sharp corner. And there you go, Command 0 to fit to screen. And this is our selection so far. Right click on it and go Make Selection. And for feather radius, I like 0.5 or 1. Those are my two options that I like, that works really well. And now we have a selection, but as you can see, the marching ends, we're selecting everything but this prop. So we need to inverse it. So go to Select, Inverse. And now we just have the prop. And with the prop selected, I will just go to Brightness and Contrast and just bring up the brightness to something that looks good in my image, something like that. I don't want to make it brighter than the subject or the balls. And that is looking great. Now I will flatten my image again. And then with my spot healing brush, zoom into the product and just, remove any kind of imperfections and stuff. Make sure you go all around it. Even if you clean your props before you start, you will find that might have some blemishes that it just needs to, be taken care of it. You might have sensor spot and so on. So just go around and, do what you need to do. Command 0 to fit to screen. There you go. This is our image.